All right. No more transfers. Straight games to the end of the season. How are we all, everybody? Welcome back to a preview from me. It's been a while. It has been a while, but that's virtue of the fact we haven't played. And January went so slowly that it feels so long since we last had a game. I have now got myself armed with my squad number support sheet so that I don't get any of the new ones wrong. I'm just like, I'm not looking, it's turned over. See, visible on that bottom side. 3 Giles, 9 Ohio, 30 Ivor Panda, 47 Anas Zaruri, and number 50 is Abdush Ömer. Right to me. Right. Everybody, how you doing? How are you doing? Let's dive into chat, shall we? How do, Jeff? Good window. I think Zaruri's a brilliant signing. I agree. I'll give our January window an A. Great pieces of business. I'll touch on that in just a second. Jacob can't wait to be back at work. Carvalho, Zaruri and Giles are insane signings. Great window. Happy fans. Ambitious owner. 1-0 Mill. Gallagher, how you doing? Jensen, how you doing? Martin says 3-1 win tomorrow. Leo, hope all is good. Owen, how you doing? This one, I'll give it an A. On the face of it, it's an A. But I'm going to reserve judgment just yet. Yes, it is still a very strong window. But how strong a window it will turn out to be in the long run, I'm going to reserve judgment on until we've seen Ohio, Panda, the unknown ones, basically. I think Giles will be a success. I think Zaruri will be a success. Carvalho is already a success, let's be honest. And Billy Sharp, at the minute, the jury's out. But when we have him playing the role that he's actually meant to do, which is come on in the last 20 minutes or so, that's calm. But when he starts, that's not the way he's going to be good. God, do we need to free up some lower numbers? Yeah, well, look, this year, unlike other years, what we've done is we've not redistributed the numbers of players that have gone out on loan. Because, for example, today, Brandon Fleming was recalled from Shrewsbury. For what reason? Don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. But yeah, so Cynic 11, Vaughan 14, Longman 16, Simons 18, Oscar 19, Fleming 21 in the first half of the year, Lakilo 22, Andy Smith 26, Callum Jones 28, Lotta Tala 32, Alfie Taylor 35, 38 Henry Sandat. These are all players with squad numbers who have gone out on loan. And that's why we're dipping into the 45s, the 47s and the 50s with 3 of our January signings. Ohio and Giles have taken lower numbers because those players have left permanently. I do like that. Keep reserving numbers for players that haven't moved on permanently. I think that's clever. I think that's very clever indeed. But yeah, I think in the summer, I don't think Abdul Kadir will be number 50 next year. Let's just say that. It's all good, but the Amer deal might be utter crap. True. Fleming has been injured for a while. You're right. Shem Oscar's come back, but no, he's going straight to Brazil, mate. Oscar's never playing for us again. Brandon's back. Yeah, I think he's just going to be sat on his ass for 5 months. That's my honest opinion. He's our 4th left back now, and I think it's safe to say he's firmly 4th choice in the pecking order, which is mad when you consider how good he was under Shotta in that half a season. Hey. So half our signings are senior signings and the other half are Ajun's Turkish All-Stars. So Sharp's a senior signing, definitely. Carvalho, I think, is a bit of both. Panda is more Ajun. Definitely. So that's 1-1 there. Who else have we brought in? I've forgotten, there's so many names. Ohio is Rosinia, Giles is Rosinia, Zaruri is Rosinia, and Abdul Kadir is Ajun a bit more. So, like you say, it's mostly Rosie's squad, but I still think there are little drips of Ajun in there. Giles is class. I know. I can't wait to see him. Reckon Zaruri will be just as effective on the right, even though all his goals and assists came from the left for Burnley. We might move Philogene to the right. Who knows? Rosinia will find a way. I think he'll be good regardless, to be honest with you. Excuse me. Bless me. Anyway, right. Team news. Jaden Philogene will return from his knee injury. Good stuff. New signings: Evo Panda, Ryan Giles, Noah Ohio, Abdul Kadir Umar, and Anas Zaruri are all available for selection. I'll talk a little bit more in that about in just a second. Sorry. Seri and Traore, both on international duty. Cyrus Christie, hamstring. Aaron Connolly with his shoulder injury. And James Furlong and Liam Delap, both knee, remain absent. I haven't had a chance, to be honest, I don't think RH have I don't think Humberside Sport have put out Rosinia's full interview yet. Because I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Haven't had a chance to listen to it just yet, where he'll speak about availabilities. But from what I've read from Mike White and Baz Cooper, all of them, they've released it 20 minutes ago, just as I'm about to go live. Would have been useful if I'd have seen that as I was going live. But anyway, from what I'm getting, it's going to be Giles, Ohio, and Zaruri are fit to start. Rosinia suggesting Umar will not be. I've not decided what I'm going to say for Abdul Kadir Umar yet. I'm not sure whether it's going to be just Abdul Kadir, whether I'm going to go for Umar, or whether I'm just going to go for Abdush. The Abdush is probably the easiest way, but I've not decided yet. The rest of them are quite simple: Zaruri, Ohio, Giles, Panda. Sorry, they're pretty simple. Abdul Kadir Umar, Abdush. It's a different one. It's a different one. We've seen your press conference watch along. Nah. Wonder if we should send Fleming to Fatih Karagümrük so we can reunite with Shota. Oh my god. The Turkish guy hinted at for bench by Rosie. That's what I thought. Yeah. Connolly class on his day. Yeah, I've just seen it. Thank you, Jeff. Don't think we'll keep Traore next season. Me neither. Jonah, how do I know the squad numbers? So the club tweeted about Abdush. He's number 50. But then the rest of them, if you go on Tiger Leisure, this is how I found about Carvalho. So I was just looking out of curiosity, and they put Carvalho as number 45 in the printing options. So I thought, right, we'll keep looking for that. And I came home today from college. I tried to look, and it said Giles was 3, Ohio 9, Panda 30, Zaruri 47. But there was no Umar, and because there was a gap between Carvalho 45 and Zaruri 47, I thought Abdul Kadir Umar would take 46. This was there. It was then highlighted to me that every city in Turkey has a different number allocated to it. So someone said to me that they think Abdul Kadir will wear 61 because that's Trabzon's number. And I remember I was looking at his squad number history the other day. I'll see if I can find it actually. And he wore number 99 at some point. Let's have a look. Let me show you. Let me show you this. I saw this. I saw Abdul Kadir Ömer wearing number 99. I thought, oh my God, how incredible would that be for a Hull City player to just walk straight through the door and take, of all numbers, number 99. But then there is him wearing number 61, and he's taken number 50 with us. But he's worn number 10 in the past, so if Traore goes in the summer, he might take that. 19 if Oscar goes. But I would have loved 99. I would absolutely have loved 99. Because we don't have unique numbers like that. Like, I think Zaruri one could make 47 iconic. But, you know, we don't, like I say, we don't have, like, the only one we've got is Connolly taking 44, where that, you know, is dead set his. Seri's won 24 throughout his career. Ozan at 7, that's sort of quite unique to him, I think. Greavesy has made number 4 his. He's worn 30 and 24 for us before he took the number 4. But then the rest, they're all just sort of, right, you could chop and change them kind of thing. Abdul Kadir at 99 would be a massive, massive statement for me. Anyway, could have dodged a bullet with Kent, definitely. Turning back on Lazio at the last minute. Yeah, good job we missed out on him. Tyler Morton is barely an upgrading DM. Tyler Morton's class. Tyler Morton's class. Simple as that. I think Kent rubbed Adrian up the wrong way. I was listening to his comments to Sky. Interesting. I was out doing other things, so I didn't see Adrian talking to Sky. Ohio to start with Sharp coming off the bench tomorrow. I agree. How have we got Carvalho? Because Liverpool know we're class with their low knees because Morton's been, like, he's come on leaps and bounds. So Klopp wanted to send him here. Right, any more? Well, Kent refuses to move at all. He wants a wage. Yeah. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices if you want to move away from somewhere. Anyway. Ref watch. The referee's Anthony Backhouse. 2 liners are Sam Lewis and John Hunt. 4th official is Tom Parsons. Let's rattle through a bit of this, shall we? On to stats. This seems ages ago, because it was. It was last month. This is what we haven't done all season, by the way. 2 shots on target, 1 goal. Didn't dominate possession. But we limited Sunderland to mostly long-distance efforts. And that's what you get. If you take chances, yes, a little bit of luck, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Rosenior says it's one of our worst performances of the season. And I disagree massively because that's a performance we didn't think that team had in them. And we managed to ride the storm, weather the storm, ride our luck a little bit bit of careful management on bookings, some good defending by Coyle, etc. on players like Clark. And there we go. The heights of Slater, Huddleston and Smallwood. They were never a midfield trio. Huddleston hardly played, let's be honest. And they were never a midfield trio together. I know if you went to it was miserable at Sunderland for about 50 minutes. You're probably right. But we needed a performance like that. The belief that will give the team injury hit, up against it, backs to the wall, clean sheet, 3 points, goal for Carvalho. That's going to be massive. That's going to be massive in the long run, I think. Anyway, Millwall's head-to-head in their last game. Let me get the posting note there ready. It was under manager Joe Edwards. It was Matthias Sarkic in goal, back three of Danny McNamara, Jake Cooper and Wes Harding, two wing-backs, Brooke Norton-Cuffy and Joe Bryan. Central midfield, George Honeyman and, where is he, Billy Mitchell there. Then just behind the striker was Zian Fleming and Duncan Watmore with Kevin Nisbet up top. They've since brought in Michael Obafemi. Jaffet Tanganga came off the bench in that game. Ryan Longman, I think he's injured for this one, but would be ineligible anyway. Not sure how much of a future he has here now, to be honest with you. I always like Ryan though. He's a good lad. He's a very, very good lad. Yeah, that's Millwall's team. Keep an eye out for SA, who we will link with, of course. Casper Denore, I think, is quite a decent player. Ryan Leonard usually does quite well against us. I rate Alan Campbell very highly. So they've got a decent team. If we look at the 21s, anyone from there who might be involved that I recognise? I recognise him playing against City under 21s. There was a tall, real dopey bloke as well, who I remember. And when I say taller, real dopey bloke, I mean, they haven't got pictures, as in like, get off a coach, there's an open door, and he's looking round, sort of thinking, oh, wait, we'll go this way, walks through the door, and there's a sign saying, go to the away dressing room. He's sort of looking round, nosy, like, real dazed and out of it. Yeah, dopey. Absolute spacehead that most footballers are, to be honest. I love how many fans are jealous of us. It would be great if we could make them even more jealous by going up. That's all I'll say. FFP police everywhere. To an extent, yes. FFP is a valid concern. And we have every right to be concerned about it, especially when you consider how we will make no money back out of Adrian's first transfer window. 4 million on Cynic, pissed up a wall. 4.5 million on Aliyah. We've lost half of that, selling to Vesterlo. We won't make money on Seri because he won't have any. He's a free, yeah, but we won't have any major sell-on value for him, I don't think, because I think we will keep him here beyond the end of his contract at the end of next season. Same can be said for Tufan. I think we'll keep him here for a while, so I don't think we'll move him on for any real value. Traore, although free, I think we'll leave on a free. Oscar was free, but I think we might make a bit of money back on him, to be fair. But we'd have lost on Tete, lost massively on Ryan Woods. So, the pockets will be hurting after Adrian's summer of fun under Shotta. And we're going to have to move on players like Cynic, Oscar. Who else flopped from that window? Woods. Flop's a bit harsh with Oscar, really, because he did actually do quite well. We're going to have to move on players like Lakilo. Who else is there? I see Uriel Theli being a complete waste of time, effort, and money. His contract's up at the end of next season with no option to renew it for an extra year. I can just see him having another year out in Peru, and that being that, to be honest. I think that was just a completely pointless signing. Smallwood, Honeyman, Doherty, clear as Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta in League One. Interesting that. Also interesting that we were so close to Chris Willock, but if we'd have got Chris Willock, if we'd have been wiser with our spending in this window. However, we could have spent like 7 million on Hadji Wright, but we got Oscar on a free instead. And when you look how Hadji Wright is doing for Coventry, it's not all that great. Apparently, Tan was with the EFL. Well, apparently, yeah, that's what we're doing. I read that as well. Apparently, before we make each signing, we're checking with the EFL, right, are we allowed to do this? You've got our books. Here's some extra stuff if you want it. Can we do this? Just for clarification, which, yeah, I think is the smart way to do things. Most clubs are losing money, though, not just us. I know it's a risk, but still, I've never seen so many fans whining about how and who we sign. Yeah, I think just because we've seen so many clubs come into problems, and it is the nature of the Championship to spend, get so close, but yet so far, and then have a massive, massive fall. Hey, John, I said adjuns, not shotters. Because let's be honest, Shotter would have just said yes. Leeds are probably going to lose money on Perot. True. Giles, I agree. I think is a great signing. I think Amur will score tomorrow. Very, very nice. Hey, Joe, how are you, mate? I like Cavalier as a great player. And what a signing, Ryan Giles. Great player for Luton. I think we've had a great window with players like Carvalho and Giles and stuff like that. And we'll have to see how the unknowns like Ohio and Abdush get on. We'll certainly have to see. Certainly have to see on that one. Right. Where did we get to? We got to current form, didn't we? To my knowledge. Who should we start with? Should we start with us or should we start with Millwall? We'll start with us. We'll include our 2 FA Cup games because they're against fellow Championship opposition. Boom, there. Form isn't great, but there's such a feel-good factor around us now. We got that win against Sunderland with loads of injuries. The last game with masses and masses of injuries. Philo back for this one. Come on. So lost 3-1 to Sheff Wednesday, drew 1-0 with Birmingham, 2-1 Norwich, 2-1 defeat to both of those, and Birmingham before beating Sunderland. Millwall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would include their FA Cup game again because it's against Championship opposition in Leicester. Beat Bristol City, lost 3-2 to Leicester, lost 3-1 to Middlesbrough, lost 2-0 to QPR, and then drew 1-1 with Preston at the weekend when we had our game called off because of Southampton's progress in the FA Cup, and the table is left looking like this, where we are 8th in touching distance of the playoffs. I think we can get in there. But it is really, really tight. I think anyone down to about where Birmingham are, now they've got Mowbray, is still technically in with a shout for me. And then at the bottom, Huddersfield, QPR, Sheff Wednesday, Rotherham, they're in a division of their own, really. I think these lot might get sucked into it a little bit, especially Stoke, maybe Swansea as well. Mad that Blackburn have the top scorer in the league and they're 18th with no wins in 5. But that's the Championship. Plymouth might get sucked into it as well, by the way. The players they've lost, mental. Right, and we've got a lot of chat coming in tonight. I'm a fan of that. Giles is only good going forward, very leaky defensively. I heard he's all right defensively from a Middlesbrough fan, but we'll judge ourselves, shall we? Need to give Oscar out on a pair. He's probably lost $2 million market value by now, but right, we've got $2.5 million in loan fees for Oscar this year, $2 million from Mets, and we're going to get $500K from Bahia, where he's going in Brazil. They've got a buy option for him for about £3 million. That's not bad. Excuse me, that's not bad. I know Jazz is a good signing when I got me my Panini sticker book as Luton's star signing. Oh my God. Top 6, surely we achieve right after the January window, and I think we get promoted, a lot of plastics will come out. Oh, don't say that. At least the Man United fans will struggle to get tickets when we play Man United at the MKM now. Hope it's not 8-0. Won't be 8-0. Have you watched Abdush highlights? They are cloth. Yeah. Rosinha and Dawson, best people to work on Giles defensively, definitely. I believe Bahia have a buy option. Yes, they do. I meant filth, not cloth. Good. Borough playoff push. There's a lot pushing for playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday. Oh my God. Want Maidstone to get Wednesday so they have a chance of going through. Wow. I'm a Borough fan and he got beat every time. Okay. We'll see. Not bad. No one is choosing to support Hull if they aren't from here. Dispute. Turkey. Merhaba. To all my Turkish followers, listeners, merhaba. Hoş geldin, Abdush. That's about all I can do. Ajun Vashkan. I think that means like Ajun owner, Ajun boss, Ajun president, something like that. I really should put some effort into learning Turkish, shouldn't I? I've lost on with Spanish as well. I used to have a bit of a bilingual twin, but I need to get back on my Spanish a bit. If we signed Chambers, that would have been the last of Christie, definitely, but I don't think Chambers would have fitted in at all. If we couldn't get Chris Willock for FFP, we would not have got Callum Chambers on Premier League wages. He would not take that much of a step down. Anyway, match day 30 in the Championship. I'll make that, you know what, I'll put that all on screen for you so you can see it all yourself. So, tonight, Bristol City versus Leeds. Tomorrow, all 3 o'clock games. These: Stoke versus Leicester, Rotherham versus Southampton, Preston versus Ipswich, Norwich versus Coventry, us versus Millwall, Huddersfield versus Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn versus QPR, Swansea versus Plymouth, Watford versus Cardiff, and West Brom versus Birmingham. Then on Sunday, midday, the Teesweir derby, Middlesbrough versus Sunderland. Should be a good game, that one. Is Connolly good? Force has been classed for Borough. Pretty much a swap that. I like Aaron Connolly. He's done brilliantly for us. I think is he our top scorer this year? It's either him or Tufan. I think it's him or Tufan who are our top scorers this year. Connolly's been class for us when he's been fit. He's had a bit of a niggling problem with like impact injuries on his toe and stuff like that he had at the end of last year that he struggled with, but he's not like tearing muscles every week and stuff like that. That's the only little niggle he's got, and it's managing it, and we're managing it well. Now he's actually back, and it's just a shame he's got murdered by Angus Gunn in the Norwich game and he's out with his shoulder injury, really. Force was terrible for us. Absolutely terrible. By the way, my name's not John, it's Lucas, and I was there for the League One and First Championship season. Lucas, how we doing? Harley, how you doing? All that build-up of Bird wanting to move to Hull to link up with a senior and he goes to Bristol City. Yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen, did it? Catline really losing hope on Turkish League signings. Tufan has been the only one that's worked. Ömer could be good. I think out of all of them, like the Cynic, the Tete, whatever, the one that has got the biggest chance of working from signing to like end is Abdul Kadir Ömer, just because he was like linked with Man City 3 years ago. So he's got to have something about him, surely. Arjun got a show. Arjun got some to show or something. That's why I don't know what you're trying to say. Right, what should we do next? Memorable match, of course. So let's change to that view. November 2021, 2-1 win. A lot of Hull City Millwall shared shirts involved here. Neither of them are being used because they both still Longman plays for both of the teams technically, and Honeyman still plays for Millwall. And you know I don't do current players because that means I have to update the graphics every time, and I'm not doing that because I'm lazy. Honeyman gave us the lead. Was this the game where it went miles over the line? It was like Birmingham. I think it was Birmingham, wasn't it? Then just before half time, Tom Bradshaw found a leveller. Longman though, lone Longman was peak Longman. Scoring, making it 2-1, winning the game. Our team was Nathan Baxter in goal, back forward to Sean Bernard, Sean McLaughlin, Jacob Greaves, with the wing backs, Ryan Longman and Keane Lewis Potter. They're on opposite sides there. It was Longman right, Lewis Potter left. Midfield 3 was Smallwood, Honeyman and Doherty. Not midfield 2. Oh my God. Strike force duo of Malik Wilkes and Josh McGuinness. Bench was Matt Ingram, Callum Elder, Tom Eves, Andy Cannon, George Monker, Randall Williams and Tom Huddleston with Grant McCann in charge. Oh my God, look how far we've come. Last time out was the 2-2 draw at the Den earlier this year. Duncan Watmore with a sloppy goal from our side from a set piece gave Millwall the lead. Philogene scored his first for the club, and then with our first on that day, then assisted the second to make it 2-1 through Adama Traore. And then the second half, we just had nothing, and Joe Bryan made it 2-2 and ensured the spoils were shared in South London. Our team that day was all stop in goal. Back four of Christie, Jones, McLaughlin and Greaves at left back. And then we had midfield 3 of Morton, Seri and Traore. This is all wrong here. Morton, Seri and Traore. Twine and Philogene with the wide players with the lap up top. The bench was... get ready. Timothy Lottatala, the goalkeeper. Ruben Vinagre. Greg Doherty. Aliyah Syed Manesh. Durkan Cynic. Jason Lakilo. James Furlong. Andy Smith and Aaron Connolly. With Liam Rosenior in charge. And then our record against these guys, once the page loads again, is, well, mixed. No, that's an advert. Why is that going on? My computer screen's having a meh. No, I don't want that up. Go away. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? It's better than I thought it was, actually. The 2-1 win we did in Memorable Match is the first of these last 5. Then we lost 2-1 later that season under Shotter. Drew 0-0 in Liam Rosenior's first game against Millwall at the Den. Beat them 1-0 last season at the MKM. Then drew earlier this season with them. So Rosenior's not been beaten by them yet. Smallwood, wow, that midfield. Brilliant, isn't it? Wilkes and McGuinness up top. Wow, mad what 3 years can do. Certainly is. Permanently offside, Josh McGuinness. I always felt like losing, plus the trains being. Oh, that game was so dumb. All right, I missed your first comment. Just wait till these new signings see our pitch. Our pitch is a mess. It needs like I was speaking to Ferraby's groundsman about this. With it being a hybrid pitch, it's part synthetic, part proper grass. For it to properly recover, it needs like 6 weeks between being laid and it first being used to like, because it just needs totally redoing. And it needs like 6 weeks of recovery, which it's just not going to get. And it's got the rugby starting on it now. So like in the summer, it needs like, as soon as we've played our last game, once we know whether we're in the playoffs or not, as soon as we've played that last game, as soon as FC have played their last scheduled game there, we need to get the people straight in, ripping it up and laying it back down quick time, and then just letting it settle. Because it needs a hell of a lot of work doing to it. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess at the minute. Shared shirts. I went for Martin Waghorn in the game of trying to be as obscure as possible. He was on loan with us from Leicester in 2011, 5 appearances, 1 goal. 2 years later, he was on loan at Millwall from Leicester. 2013, 14 appearances, 3 goals for Martin Waghorn. Fairly forgetful for all of it. Need the rugby team off it, to be honest. They even train on it. We had to train on it for a little bit. Whilst it was like really, really cold weather last few weeks, because that pitch had the lamps and stuff like that, we had to train on it as well, because like our training ground pitches were just frozen. It's simple as that. It was just frozen. From experience, the pitch feels muddy, a bit wet, a bit like a wet Sunday league pitch, but a bit better in quality. Other championship teams don't seem to be suffering. Our pitch is just worn. It's just worn and it hasn't had proper maintenance. It just gets like it just gets a load of seed on it at the end of the season and allowed to sit and kind of recover. It needs ripping up, laying and leaving for a bit. But with the rugby, that's not really possible. Anyway, predicted team. This might raise some eyebrows. Allsop in goal, back 4, Coyle the skipper, Jones, Greaves, Giles straight in. Midfield, Morton, Slater and Carvalho. And Tufan right. Now I say that because against Norwich, Tufan, when we were pressing, he drifted out as right wing so Carvalho could stay as number 10. But then when we were like on the defensive and not attacking, Tufan would drop back in and be central when he didn't have to press and we weren't attacking. He would drop in and tuck in central and be like the third central midfielder essentially, with Carvalho further forward, and we'd be playing with only the left winger. If you get what I'm trying to say, it's a bit asymmetrical. I think Tufan will play though in whatever. I think Zaruri will come in on the left on debut, and Noah Ohio will lead the line. Have I cropped that right? Yeah, I have. On the bench, this is controversial. Ingram dropped straight away for Ivor Panda. McLaughlin, Doherty, Sharp, Philogene. That's another controversial one. I'll explain that in a second. Jacob, Sellers Fleming, Stan Ashby, and Abdul Kadir Umar. Abdush. I wonder what he'll have on the back of his shirt. Will it be Umar, Abdul Kadir, Abdush? Who knows? Right. Let's assess. Philogene will start. He said he's matched for ages ago. I agree with Philogene. Don't want to bring him back to a full 90 too quick. Leo, the boy Sellers. That boy Sellers. Right. Philogene. I haven't listened to Racinia's interview yet. That's what I'll say. he might say, yes, he's fully match fit, ready, raring to go, he'll start when I listen to it later on. But I don't think he will. Rosenior has been super, super careful with players like Delap, players like Philogene, because they're young and they have long, long careers in front of them. And Philogene is such a crucial player for us now. Now we've got the players who can start with him and we'll still possess similar quality. I would rather us not take the risk of throwing him straight in to a starting 11 against a team like Millwall when he is like the most fouled player in the league. Because that is just a recipe waiting to happen. The knee injury, I think, if I remember correctly, was an impact injury. And he is the most fouled player in the league, as far as I'm aware. We need to protect him. And give him 25 minutes, absolutely. Just don't start him from the off. Let him come on, get in his rhythm, and protect the lad. Because I think with any luck, fingers crossed, don't jinx it, Joe, hopefully we're over the worst of our injuries this season now. With other teams, they might not be. We saw how many we had towards the back end of last season. We want to have our best players fit, i.e. Jadon Philogene, when these other clubs at the back end of the season might be weakened by strong players going down. We will have injuries. That's football. Look at Liam Delap. He might not play for us again. Look at Aaron Connolly. He might not be back until the end of the month. But Philogene is the key to everything we will do. Him, Cavalier, Zaruri, whoever it may be, them all linking up, plus each of their individual qualities on their own, could win us games single-handedly. But as Coxie said there, first big tackle on Jadon, I'll be panicking. It's Millwall. They are designed. Millwall. If you look up Millwall in a dictionary, the definition reads tall, shithouse full team who are willing to play dirty if they need to. And with a player like Philogene, the easiest thing to do is just get near him and put him on the floor. We need to protect him as much as possible. And while he's not played for 2 months, be careful with the asset. Be careful with the player that we've got there and just sort of ease him back into it, I think. That's what I think. Don't put too much risk on him. Because he's that good. Preserve him. Let him get back into the swing of things. Give him some match minutes. And then start him against Swansea. That's my view. Predicted scores, everyone. Bring him this way. Bring him this way. Three 1. 2-0. Matt, come on. 8-0. 3-0. 4-1 win. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0. Goals. Ohio on debut. And Carvalho. We'll leave it there. See you for the Matchday vlog tomorrow, everyone. And I look forward to seeing the FFP breaching. Tiny. Oh my God. How have Hull signed him? Let's observe this Hull pull. Oh my God. They've got to be breaking some sort of rules. What a small club, Tigers. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. See you later, everyone. Goodbye.